Hello everyone, and welcome to this 30-minute yin yoga practice for complete nourishment of the nervous system. Today, the only prop you'll need is either a bolster, or I'd grab a few pillows if you are doing this at home. So we'll begin in straddle pose by coming to bring both knees over the bolster or props and finding a comfortable seat. We'll then begin to notice our subtle breath. So as you settle in, just drop your hips down to the support underneath you. And on your inhale, just imagine you can lengthen your spine softly a little further to the sky. And as you exhale, just drop your shoulders a little further away from your ears. Take that tongue away from the roof of the mouth and start to lengthen your inhalations and soften your exhalations. Take your final slowest inhale and exhale here. And then we'll very gently slide our fingertips round the shins, and if you can grab the ankles, great. If not, come to bring your hands under your two sit bones. Sit up tall with the spine, and we'll send the right ear down to the right shoulder, just to feel a really nice stretch on the opposite side of the neck. Then join me by dipping the chin down towards the chest and rolling that left ear to the left shoulder. Feel that fascia start to open and breathe. Let's do this one more time, drawing that chin down to your chest, taking the right ear to the right shoulder. Just really starting to enjoy this move. And then we'll bring that chin back down to the chest and just lift your head very slowly. And on an inhale, both arms will float softly to the sky, breathing in, palms to touch, and then bending the elbows, hands to your heart center, where we set our intention here for our practice today. May this practice nourish every layer of my being. We come into our first yin pose. Just pop yourself off the bolster or the pillows and come to meet me in a reclined position on your back. So slowly take the spine down and just draw the knees into the chest before dropping both feet down underneath the knees. We're coming to something called reclined tree pose, so extend the right leg long and bring the left foot inside the right inner thigh. We'll float the arms up into a cactus position, so bending those elbows, making them in line with the shoulders. Reclined tree pose. So here we are in our first yin pose, this subtle, gentle pose. And all I ask here for you to do is to give yourself permission to fully embrace this very relaxing and restorative class. Sink yourself a little further into the ground and give yourself permission to indulge and fully enjoy this practice, where we slow down completely. So we're taking our last breath in this lovely relaxing pose. And on your exhale, allow yourself to sink that inch deeper towards the center of the earth. And then slowly we'll begin to guide that left knee back up to the sky, pointing up to the ceiling, to come into our second yin pose. We'll just circle the left knee here a little bit, grabbing that front shin, just to open up that hip girdle. And then if you haven't done already, let's go the other way, just guiding the hip in little circles, gentle and slow. Then after a few rounds, we're going to draw that knee right towards our left armpit, come into half happy baby pose, with the left fingertips wrapping around either the left outer foot, or maybe you're grabbing the calf. And you'll just meet me by extending the right arm long along the ground for our half happy baby pose. So in this day and age, especially if you're living in a city, we live in a very yang way. We'll try and get up for a workout, we'll go for a run, we'll go to work. We're constantly fed by social media. We're constantly fueled by coffee. But this kind of life is fun and productive and full of growth and energy. But unfortunately, we cannot maintain that level of stress or energy. We must find the balance. We must find the slow times. And this here is your time to be slow. Enjoy a final breath here. Really take your time. Before we enter our next pose, you're taking that left knee, drawing it to your chest. We're taking a twist over to the right, where you might have your pillow or bolster underneath the left knee. Option to bring your right foot towards your right butt cheek for cat pulling its tail. But if this doesn't work for you, just keep that bottom leg extended long. We're in a big, deep twist now. So a way to notice if your nervous system is being overloaded. Right now, just notice if your tongue is touching the roof of the mouth. Can you relax it back? Notice if your mouth feels a little dry. That means you need to breathe deeper and slower. Finally, notice the activity in the mind. Are your thoughts racing? Enjoy a final breath here. Deeply inhaling and slowly exhaling. Well done, everyone. Let's come out of that deep twist. Draw both knees in towards your chest. And then extend the knees forward to the front of your mat and let the clasp around the fingers draw your chin to your chest. So it's like we're resting here. And let's come to the other side, recline tree pose, extend that left leg long, the right knee bends, right foot into the left inner thigh. And again, we're cactusing those lovely arms. Elbows come wide, palms facing up. So here we are again in a pose that feels familiar now. So all I ask for you here is to let go of the fight. You've spent so much time pushing, striving, doing. But why do we try so hard all the time? What would happen here if you allowed yourself to just be, without forcing, without expectation of what is right and wrong? Really enjoy your last breath here, everyone. Before guiding that right knee back up to the sky. And again, we start those slow knee circles. Grab that front shin. And just start to really guide the hips out to the side and then back into the middle. And if you haven't done already so, let's go the other way. Making little circles the other way, just to prepare for our deep hip opener now. Half happy baby. Choose your bind. Maybe the right fingers can bind round the outside of the right foot, or you can grab your right shin if that's more comfortable. We'll come to the full bows by extending the left arm long, becoming really long on that left left side, creating space. And all I want you to do here for the next minute is just focus on the soft rising and fall of your belly as you breathe. With your last exhale, can you sink a little deeper and just let go in the hip before gently coming out of the pose? We're coming into that lovely twist, so the right knee crosses over the body and we come into cat pulling its tail. You can let the right knee hover off the ground. Option to always bend the bottom leg here and grab the left toes with the right arm, but you don't have to. If the body says no, you extend that left bottom leg long, and we're in our supine twist. So living in a very fast, yang-like way can most commonly be known as stress. We all know stress is not good for our bodies, our nervous systems, our minds, and our mental health. But I'll share with you that chronic stress can actually reduce lifespan by 2 to 3 years. Stress contributes to up to 70% of all chronic inflammation. So this then makes us realize that even though this yin practice is very slow and some may say boring, it makes us realize this type of practice is essential for our being. We're going to come out of the pose by rolling onto one side, pressing up to a seat and swinging both feet round to cat-cow, where we're then just going to sink the hips all the way back to a wide-legged child's pose, sinking the forehead down to the ground and taking the arms right above you. Option here to bring a bolster or the pillows underneath your forehead or chest to add a little bit more nurturing to the practice. Child's pose. Allow yourself to sink back to a time before all the worries, before all of the weight of your relationships, your job, money, expectations. In child's pose, we can come back to our little inner child, where there are no demands, no need to prove anything. Take one more breath. Guys, when you're ready, we're coming gently out, standing into your shins. We're just going to come and release out of the pose, and we'll then stand into the shins and roll the spine forward. We're meeting in Sphinx pose now, with the forearms down to the mat, at the top of the mat. Gently lower down so the shoulders are stacked directly over the elbows. We can stay here and sink the pelvis into the floor, or you might want to bring the bolster and the pillows underneath your chest or elbows to come to seal pose. If If you like, we can extend the arms straight, walking the hands forward for a more intense stretch for the lower back. But whichever option you've chosen, let's dip the chin nicely down to the chest to relax the brain. Here in your Sphinx pose, start to notice the quality of yin. It's slow, dark, feminine energy, which brings us back into balance and harmony with our natural state. Release a little further, let the shoulders slide away from your ears. 2 more deep, slow breaths for your nervous system. Well done. Slowly and gently come out of this pose by lifting the head, sliding any props from beneath you away, and lowering down into crocodile, where the hands will meet and we'll turn the right cheek to the ground. And we're just going to bend the elbows wide and slide that left knee towards the left elbow today. And just come to lying on our front. It's a beautiful release for the lower back. Just take a few breaths here in half frog pose. As you breathe, feel the belly and the chest expand towards the ground, before slowly sliding that left leg back, flipping to the other side. Left cheek to the ground, slide that right knee forward for half frog on the other side, and just really allow yourself to enjoy and yield this slow, nourishing practice. So in a yin-like way now, we're coming back up to all fours, press into the ground and lift the hips. We're coming into shoelace pose, so slide your left knee forward, landed in the middle of your mat between the hands. Then we're sliding the back knee directly behind the left, spread the feet wide and settle your hips down in between the feet. You might need a bolster or a blanket or a pillow under your sit bones. So we're now grabbing a little bit of support, bringing it to the left side of the body so we can have something to lean on. The aim here is to stack the knees, but if you can't and need a little space, that's totally fine. We're going to settle the left hand onto the bolster and breathe in and lift the right arm to the sky. Now bending that left elbow, we come to a beautiful side stretch. Just let that right arm dangle over the right ear as we settle in to our next yin pose. So in this particular pose, a little bit of a frustrating pose for most. We are training the body to push through a state of discomfort without experiencing any pain. So start to breathe and become aware of where you feel this pose. And the longer we stay, the longer we start to heal the deeper tissues, the fascia, the connective tissue, ligaments, and of course the nervous system starts to slow. We're taking our final breath here before pressing into that left arm and slowly, in a yin-like way, lifting the spine up. We're going to fold forward over the legs now. Bring your hands slightly forward and just bow the chin towards the chest. And then, however comfortable, we take the hands behind us, swing the top leg back, and we're meeting back in all fours. And unfortunately, guys, we have two legs, so we're doing the other side. So maybe with a few movements of the spine, you'll then slide that right knee forward, slide the back knee close behind the right, and again we're sitting back through the gap in the feet. Again, grab any support you need, blankets, pillows, because this is a tricky pose for most. Lifting up that left arm, find the support under the right arm or right hand, and we'll bend that right elbow to let that left arm simply flop over the left ear. And again, we're here for a few minutes or so. So settle in. So when we live fast, cortisol is released, and cortisol is our fight or flight chemical, which in the olden days was released to give us energy for immediate threats. But we don't have that anymore. Now cortisol is released by little things such as checking your phone straight away, multitasking, rushing between plans. And the way to decrease this production of cortisol, this stress hormone, is to slow down, just like how we're doing. Because cortisol has such detrimental effects on our body. So take your slowest breath now, in and out. Before releasing back up with the spine, take your hands behind your hips. We're just going to release the legs and windscreen wiper the knees side to side, just to release the hips. We're deep into our yin pose now, so start to close your eyes, bring the soles of the feet together, knees are going to come wide, and we're bowing forward into wide leg butterfly pose. You can allow your spine to round here, but just make sure that tongue is away from the roof of the mouth and you're allowing your spine to rest over the legs. So breathe into the back of your lungs and the back body. We're not staying here for too long, just a transition pose to stretch out the spine and the hips. And notice how quiet your mind can become now. Take your last breath before slowly rising. We guide the knees back into the middle and lower down back onto the spine, just like how we started. We're sending both legs up into the air now, supported shoulder stand. An option here is to bring the bolster or the pillow underneath your hips. So we're lengthening those feet up to the sky and just allowing the weight of the legs to sink deep into the hips. Viparita Karani, supported shoulder stand, one of the most relaxing poses in our yoga asana practice. So for your next 3 breaths in our final yin pose, start to feel the relaxing and nourishing effects of this pose. Gently we're starting to bend the knees, and 1 foot at a time take them to the floor. We can then remove any props from underneath us, drop the spine slowly down and extend your legs long for our final pose of today, of course, Shavasana, corpse pose. Here, please ensure your shoulders aren't creeping towards your ears. Shuffle them down and relax the entire face, jaw. This is your time to give yourself the rest you so dearly deserve. Let the weight of your shoulders melt away. And stay here for as long as you need. Thank you for practicing with me today. I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of your relaxation.